Now call to order the City Council meeting for January 8th, 2024, time 7 p.m. Opening prayer, Jamie.
All right. All right. Let us pray. Dear Lord, I pray for this council meeting tonight. Give us the wisdom and guidance as we deliberate on the items before us. May every decision be righteous in your sight for the community's benefit and your glory. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ben, would you please call the roll?
Member Warren?
Here.
Member Shroya?
Here.
Member McLeister?
Here.
Member Owens?
Here.
Member Wyrick?
Here.
Member Matheny?
Here.
Member Orr?
Here.
7 present.
Okay, thank you. Could I have a motion and a second to approve as presented minutes from December 11th, December 18th, 2023 final appropriations and transfers, and the December 2023 Q4 financial.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay. Have a motion and a second to enter into an executive council or executive session for the purpose of reviewing negotiations with public employees concerning their compensation and other forms of the terms and conditions of their employment as permitted by ORC 121-22G4.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Roll call. Roll call.
Roll call. Sorry.
Member Orr?
Yes.
Member Matheny?
Yes.
Member Wyrick?
Yes.
Member Owens?
Yes.
Member McLeister?
Yes.
Member Shroya?
Yes.
Member Warren?
Yes.
7 yes, 0 no.
Okay. At this time, council is in executive session. Let the record reflect the mayor, director of administration, the director of finance, and the clerk will join us.
So now do we come back
So,
out and
yeah.
then come back?
So, all right. Adjourn.
Katie and Haley are crazy. Well, Haley is, Haley kind of. I said, I'm gonna get one of those old Stanley coffee thermoses.
Yeah.
Whatever they act bougie, I'm gonna carry.
Those things. Yeah.
All right, Matt, I think we're all here.
All right.
Can we read it?
No. I'm just- okay. So, at this time, executive session is adjourned.
You need a motion.
What's that?
You need a motion.
Motion to adjourn executive session.
Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Let the record reflect no actions taken. We have a motion and a second to adjourn into executive session.
So moved.
For what? You gotta say the whole purpose, sorry. Do you want me to read it?
Sure.
Motion and second to enter into an executive session for the purpose of considering confidential information related to the specific business strategy and trade secrets of an applicant for economic development assistance under Ohio Revised Code Section 5709.40 to 5709.43 as permitted by Ohio Revised Code 121.22 G4. This vote must be unanimous.
And so you're looking for a motion,
Yes,
so I would
motion.
move that we, so moved. What did I say?
Second.
Roll call.
Member Orr?
Yes.
Member Matheny?
Yes.
Member Wyrick?
Yes.
Member Owen?
Yes.
Member McLeister?
Yes.
Member Stroy?
Yes.
Member Warren?
Here. Yes.
7 in favor.
All right, at this time, council is in executive session. Let the record reflect that we will be joined by the mayor, director of administration, all of finance, and the clerk.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The record reflected, no action taken. So, all right, so we've got recognition of public, but nobody's signed up, correctly?
Oh, I just signed up while you guys were.
You did?
Yeah, I did the new age-way, the digital online one.
All right, okay. At this time, members of the public did you do the agenda only one or the?
Oh, it was only agenda only tonight.
No, it's both, but.
Right, yeah, no, I did not the agenda only, but.
Okay, all right.
Because agenda only is first, then
Right,
all the
right.
topics. to the end.
So we will go past the agenda only one.
Old business.
What's that?
Old business.
Yes. Yes. All right, so I am completely lost it. Old business, okay. Ben, would you please read the title of ordinance 69-20?
An ordinance amending the zoning map of the city of North Canton to reclassify 5 parcels in the city of North Canton in accordance with the amendment procedure set forth in chapter 1182 of the Planning and Zoning Code from their existing classifications to residential, single-family, large lot.
Okay, this is community and economic development. This is mine. And so this is, as discussed before, since the change to reclassify just the 5 parcels, nothing else is new from this. Any comments, questions from anybody?
Nope.
I'm going to make a motion that we adopt this.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ben, would you please read the title of ordinance 02-2020?
An ordinance amending chapter 1302 permits, specifically section 1302.04 conditions for the issuance of permits of the codified ordinances of the city of North Canton in order to establish additional restrictions on the issuance of permits.
Okay, this is ordinance and rules. This is John.
Well, we've had a first reading and a second reading on this. We've made no changes. Do you guys have any questions
No.
on this? So I'll make an amendment or
Motion to adopt.
a motion to adopt. Sorry about that.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ben, would you please read the title of ordinance 05-2020?
An ordinance accepting the annexation of 3 parcels owned by Walsh University and described as follows. Located at 1903 Filzer Street Northwest, North Canton, Ohio, 44720, containing 0.45 acres and being further identified as parcel number 5280443, and 1915 Filzer Street Northwest, North Canton, Ohio, 44720, containing 0.45 acres and being further identified as parcel number 5209461, and 1939 Filzer Street Northwest, North Canton, Ohio, 44720, containing 0.354 acres and being further identified as parcel number 5207611, totaling approximately 1.25 acres of land, being part of the northeast quarter of Section 16 in Township 11, Plain Township, Range 8 West, Stark County, Ohio, and declaring the same to be an emergency.
All right, thank you for that, Ben. Okay, so this is the Walsh property annexation, and we are in the window to finish the annexation. Nothing new here. Any comments, questions from anybody?
Nope.
Okay, I'm going to make a motion to adopt.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And can I have a motion and a second to suspend the rules of council requiring 30 days?
Motion to suspend.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And can I have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 05-2024 under the suspension of the rules?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ben, would you please read the title of ordinance 06-2024?
An ordinance authorizing and directing the Director of Administration of the City of North Canton to file a petition for annexation of territory owned wholly by the City of North Canton, Stark County, Ohio, and adjacent to the City of North Canton as permitted under Ohio Revised Code, Section 709.16, and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Okay, Okay, this is community economic development. This is one as well. So this is the first step in the process of annexing the Jackson shared development property. Again, nothing new. We've discussed this before. I'm going to make a motion to adopt.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And can I have a motion and a second to suspend the rules of council requiring 3 readings?
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And can I have a motion and a second to adopt ordinance 06-2024 under suspension of the rules?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
President,
Yes.
on your next item on your agenda, ordinance number 2024, ask if council would consider postponing this item until the January 29th City Council meeting.
Okay. Any discussion, anyone? I'll make the motion to postpone.
We need to
ordinance.
read the title.
Oh, okay. Ben, could you read the title?
Not that I want to, but an ordinance declaring improvements to real property within the city to be a public purpose, declaring such property to be exempt from real property taxation, requiring the owners of the real property to make service payments in lieu of taxes, establishing an urban redevelopment tax increment equivalent fund for the deposit of service payments, and authorizing the Director of Administration to enter into a tax increment financing service agreement and a development agreement with the property owner.
Okay, this is a TIF agreement. Do we want to have any discussion before we make the motion? Okay, I will make a motion that we postpone ordinance 08-2020.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Do we
Motion
need,
carries.
point of order, do we need to state in the motion to January 29th?
Yeah,
We do or don't? I didn't.
we do. I would prefer if you would state it in the motion. Yeah.
Okay, let's make a motion to postpone to January 29th.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on to new business. Can I have a motion and a second to suspend Council Rule 23 to allow for consideration of what will be Resolution 11-2024 relating to the collective bargaining agreements for the North Canton Police Department.
Motion to suspend Council Rule 23.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Ben, would you please read the title of Resolution 11-2024?
A resolution approving the collective bargaining agreement between the City of North Canton and the Ohio Patrolman Benevolence Association for full-time dispatchers and lead dispatcher as negotiated by the Department of Administration and declaring the same to be an emergency.
Personnel, David.
So administration has been extremely busy. This is the third contract that they've negotiated. Following suit with those that were negotiated for the police officers, there is a wage increase, a uniform allowance, and the lead position. And I'm going to let Mr. DiOrio go ahead and elaborate on that, or
So this agreement is for the dispatchers and the lead dispatcher for the city of North Canton. We have agreed to in the first year, as it relates to wages, a 75-cent one-time per hour adjustment for equity, and then a 3.5% raise in the first year. In the second and third years, 4%. We've also, with the lead dispatcher, agreed to a increase from 10% to 11% higher salary than a fourth-year dispatcher. We've also agreed to 80 hours of comp time for this bargaining unit, and the uniform allowances remaining the same as far as dollar amount at $300, although we have by contract last part of the flexibility to compensate for the need to increase the uniform allowance.
I think the only other thing was changing the entry-level pay for a new employee. It was enter at this rate, and then in 6 months you increase that rate. For recruiting purposes, we've made it the annual rate at the higher rate instead of waiting 6 months for that increase. And I think that's going to be helpful if needed in the future.
Very well said. And of course, the other standard things that we've been negotiating, that the new vacation accrual plan, the new health insurance language that's in all the ones. This is the final contract of all the ones that now everything's uniform, so to speak, between all the departments.
Consistent, and that's important. When you look at your employees, your most valuable asset, and that those programs are similar across all of the different bargaining units. Appreciate all the hard work that went into that. It's not easy.
Thank you.
So I would like to make was there any other questions, comments, concerns? Okay, I would like to make a motion to adopt the first reading of Resolution 11/2024.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And can I have a motion and a second to suspend the rules of council requirement?
Motion to suspend so that we can get the bargaining group to vote on this.
All in favor?
They have voted on it.
Have they? Thank you.
Opposed? Motion carries. And can I have a motion and a second to adopt resolution 11-2024 under suspension of rules?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Okay, moving on to open topic public speaks. At this time, members of the public wishing to address City Council may do so. Each speaker will be given 5 minutes. Speakers shall be called in the order when they signed up. Joe, you're
Around 0.022% of the population.
Please approach the podium, give your name and address, and this will serve as the only warning for everyone in attendance, and any violation of the rules will result in rejection of the premises. Go ahead, Joe.
Hi, Joseph Oakley, 1016 Park Avenue Northeast, North Canton, Ohio, 44720. Good evening, my fellow citizens of North Canton, City Council, and Mayor Stephen B. Wilder. I'm here to thank those who reformed the format for the recognition of public, and not only given the private citizen who lives in North Canton the option of not only one but two options to speak their opinion on things that happen in our city. Secondly, I would like to thank the Hoover Foundation for helping keep our library open through all these years of economic uncertainty, as I'm sure it's a lot of hard work that goes into keeping our library open. And that's one thing I won't take for granted in this town. And what brings me here tonight is earlier at the end of fiscal year 2023, the architects and the other guy came up here to give the presentation on what they would like to do to the front of the Hoover Company. And I don't think there is any rhyme or reason why we can't have some sort of outdoor ice rink like you have in New York City at Woolman Rink that Donald John Trump, really, renovated that in the 1980s. And I would like to cordially invite Donald Trump to our town, as the majority of our population voted for him in 2020. And I don't think there is a better town in the state of Ohio for him to come down here and campaign for this election, because one thing I'm not taking for granted in the fiscal year 2024 is how safe and secure our town is going to be through this election, as we saw many crimes and atrocities seen in those Democratic ran cities. And in 2022, I really wanted to see these cities for firsthand purposes. And truth be told, from Portland to Little Rock and Baton Rouge, I wanted to see if the grass was greener out here. And each time I leave this town, I come back here and I love it more and more, because we have love, patience, tolerance, and understanding in this town. And the proof's in the pudding with our very low violent crime rate. And that's something I'm not going to take for granted. I plan to live, work, hopefully start up a family, and retire in this town. And these are just the simple things I will not take for granted. And as we face these ongoing issues with, everything that's happening in the world, I just know we, the people of North Canton, we're going to work hard and we're going to prosper through these times of inflation. And we're going to keep going forward, like ever since the days since, sadly, Hoover lost the election to Franklin Delano Roosevelt. I learned through the library that we have in this town, and very troubling times when we lost the election. But North Canton didn't burn down. And, all I know is at this point, from William to Herbert Hoover, they want to see that front of that building being used. They don't want to see it being vacant and empty and not.
Joseph. Ben, can I get some water? Word. What's my cord? Sorry.
It's all right.
Been there.
Yeah, Jeff.
All right, I guess I'll end my speech here on, I'm just trying to figure out a way how we can get New Balance to come to town and see if maybe we can manufacture footwear for, the majority of the citizens of the town, got to be from EMT, police to kitchen workers to every day. So, if there's some way we can get New Balance to come to town and renovate that front half of the Hoover Company, and we can make some shoes here, I think that would be great for the city. And I can't do this all on my own. So hopefully those from council to the mayor and, local entrepreneurs are ready for this challenge that's ahead. But there's no rhyme or reason why we can't have the premier outdoor ice rink in Stark County, because one in downtown Canton is very small. You get about 5 families there. It's very small. It's one of the many flaws I've experienced there. The first night they opened it. So that being said, thank you and God bless.
Thank you. Moving on to department reports. Director of Administration.
No report.
Director of Finance, Gina.
I'm gonna let Jim actually take the monthly financials, so I'm not doing that either. I just wanted to make mention that it includes the annual check register, the annual revenue report, division. And then we did have, final year end appropriations that you approved, if you had any questions about that.
Just opening year. Been a rough week or so, and then we're finishing up and, starting the new year, but, so I'll start with income tax. So for the year of, this year is 123, we had $10.8 million in income tax, which essentially is 12% increase from last year, which we're happy about. The breakdown in that is $6.7 million in withholding, $2.3 million of individuals, and from businesses about $1.5 million. I'll talk about so we have a bank reconciliation with our investments. So we use UBS mainly for investments. Most of our investments is through UBS, and so we brought in through UBS approximately $275,000 investments through the year, and we're expected to bring in for this fiscal year, 2024, approximately $389,000 of investment income. So we're looking out for that. Currently, our portfolio yield is 2.3%, which in the scheme of things isn't great, but as we have maturing investments, we obviously reinvest them at this point at higher rates. So I imagine that's going to be and keep increasing as we have maturing investments and invest rates. I'll talk about payroll for the year. First off, we increased in 2023. We added 13 full-time employees. That increased in terms of payroll approximately $2 million. It's broken down by general fund. There was 8 new FTEs, new individuals, fire EMS. We had 2 new FTEs. And then we had a new operation manager in water in 2023. And then in sewer, we had 2 new laborers in sewer as well, which made up most of that $2 million. But we also had COLA, health insurance, all that stuff, that all increased every year. A significant portion of that.
And those, were those additional employees or were they?
Additional.
They were additional, okay.
Yep. And then, for revenues, we increased in property, so we had our first year of the levy collection of fire EMS, correct? So that brought in an additional little over $1.7 million in property tax revenue in 2023 compared to 2022. The income tax was up. Our state, our grants went down by $387,000, and that's due to just certain grants that we didn't receive that we did in 2022. License permits and fees went up by $85,000 for the year compared to 2022, which a lot of that was rental registration. Charges for services, which is water, sewer, we increased there approximately $933,000. Anything else that? Any more questions?
Increase in.
Thank you. Yeah.
We'll email it.
Yeah, we'll email you a summary on what.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much. I just want to welcome back City Council. New year means new projects and activities for our community. And of course, maintaining our ongoing city operations and services for the safety and well-being of our community, for all those who live, work, and visit and retire here. And a new year also brings challenges too, and as I said, opportunities, and our continued effort in maintaining and improving our operations and funding our city operations, and keeping our residents connected and informed as to what we're doing here, not only in council but through administration and all our city departments. I just would like to give a shout out, if I may, to we had a citizen that made a nice little contribution to the police department at the beginning of the year. We received a sizable donation from BMW of North Canton, and that's to go to the the police department, and for first aid kits for our officers, improve there, and also their go-to bags in the cruisers. And so that was a nice, generous donation from BMW of North Canton to for our police department. And last but not least, I want to thank the Danbury Senior Living Center as they raised the money, $1,000 worth for the North Canton Fire Department for smoke detectors for individuals and households who cannot afford that. For 12 years, they have a Christmas program where businesses donate trees, and then they are auctioned off, and they raised several $1,000s, and that's all went to the fire department for smoke detectors. And I just want to give a thank you to those 2 businesses and one private citizen who wanted to donate some money to for the general operations, I guess, for the fire department, or for the police department, excuse me. Thank you, that's all I have.
Thank you.
As
Did you mention the amount?
I can. Okay, I'm sorry, let's back up. The exact amount that we received from BMW of North Canton, Ohio was $3,000. And as I said, those were going to improve the individual first aid kits our police officers carry on their person, and the ready-to-go bags in their cruisers for emergencies. The North Canton Fire Department received $3,610 from the Danbury Senior Living Center, again, for the smoke detectors. And then we did receive $50 from, well, she didn't want her name given. Anonymous, okay? It was a $50 donation to the police department, so.
Thank you.
I stand corrected on that. Thank you.
Nice.
As you are all hopefully aware, over my past couple years here, thanks to Patrick's permission and all of your support, we've greatly improved our data capture and reporting capabilities across many of our departments. Late last year, I attended the Ohio Municipal League with some of my colleagues from the city. And while we were there, the Ohio City Managers Association put out a call for communities to present their data capture schemes at their annual conference this coming February. So their conference, the theme for their conference is Shaping Tomorrow's Communities Today, and they were looking for examples of data-driven communities. Our Deputy Director of Administration, Catherine Farina, convinced me to submit North Canton for that conference, and I am thankful to say we have been chosen to be featured at the Ohio City Managers Association in February for what we do to try and capture data.
That's great.
And nice job.
That's my report.
Good work. Council reports. Jamie.
All right, I got a couple things. Patrick shared with me, we got some numbers from Summit E-Waste, which if you guys are not aware, there's a collection bin at the old post office where you can put electronics of various sorts as opposed to putting them into the landfill. And I think Ben had a couple pictures maybe he was going to throw up there just to give you an idea of kind of what they've looked like at times when they've gone and collected. Now, the numbers are kind of exciting. So 3,350 pounds, and I had to go back and search my email from last year. That's actually more than 1,000 pounds more than what it was last year. So that's fantastic. In some regards, it might be a small number, but that's 3,350 pounds we kept from going into the landfill. So that's great. And again, it is located at the old post office on Main Street. So,
Please, you should note that that is not what it looked like. That's after.
No, yes, that's when they. That's a good point. That's as they opened up the door and what they saw. It does not look like that. It is a very tidy, collection site. So yes, good catch on that, Patrick. So. Other than that, I just want to thank Ben and Tad. I think Mark might have been involved in it at the water treatment plant with writing down some questions for a resident today. So thank you to you gentlemen. So that's it. End of report.
David.
Okay. So as Chairman of Personnel and Safety, again, I want to thank administration and finance for all the work that they did on all of the contract negotiations. It's not an easy task to complete. Gaining agreement, compromise, consensus, and the amount of time that goes in, it needs to be recognized. It's a lot of hard work. Thank you for that. The finance department, putting together the year-end report, extremely difficult, but also updating the online budget book, getting that information out there for the residents that really want to dig into the numbers to look in it. It's open gov, and that's where we want to be. Also a shout out on the 95% investment rate that you've got, trying to at least work the money as much and as best as we can, even though the rates may be small at this time. So that is also greatly appreciated. So that is my report. Thank you.
Thank you, John.
We skipped over Melissa.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. No problem. Yeah, I would echo what David said, and I would like to thank a couple members of the EMS we had a visitor at our home over the holidays who needed some help. And so Jean Trent, Bryce Schilling, and Danielle Lakey responded to a 911 call at our home, and I'm happy to report that that person was able to get the help they needed and is back home and is doing really well. So just wanted to make sure that we thanked them for that.
John, I'm going to skip you.
Okay. Well, just a couple things. We took a tour. I think there was three or four of us, Dave and Matt and Jamie, myself. Ben, thank you for setting that up. We went to the water treatment plant. We learned a lot. That's I would encourage you guys, if you haven't been out there, take a stop out there. Driving down Main Street, I saw that North Canton Auto put their fence up. Boy, does that look good. And it's nice. There wasn't a car out front, so they put everything, so they did do a nice job out there, which was really, really nice. Other than that, no report.
Stephanie.
Same thing, North Canton Auto.
Yeah.
Nice to see. I was very excited. And just echoing Dave's comments to finance and administration. Working with individuals on their needs and wants and desires and meeting a middle halfway point is not really kudos to all of you. And Jim, thanks for doing the reports. I like seeing that. Good mentoring, Gina.
Christina.
I think, part of my focus coming up is hopefully going to be in the 2024 budget. We had a parks master plan, so I'd like to see that get started. So I'm reaching out to administration to see what we can do or see where that is. That's all.
Thank you. You guys took a lot of what I was going to say, but I'm not. Except for the water department, because that was, to see that facility from the inside. I was supposed to go when COVID happened, and it got canceled.
Yeah.
And I've been in meetings there.
Yeah.
And I've been with rooms outside and everything, but to take the full tour, it is a very impressive operation. And I mean, I'd encourage people to, even if we could give like some sort of
Community.
like handheld tour, like a point of view tour on it.
We took our leadership Star County through there, and it was just, it's fascinating.
Yeah.
It's very impressive. It's
a different appreciation.
It's humbling to know that the city owns and runs something that
Yeah.
expansive, it's important.
Okay.
So, there's a national championship game on tonight, so I'm not gonna get
Yeah.
20 minutes. Uh-oh, sorry.
I hate to relate. Michigan isn't it? Christina's so good about this, but I did receive an immediate release from the library. And for our citizens and for the record, our public library is offering passport services now, starting January 3rd. So real quickly, the North Canton Public Library is pleased to announce that it now accepts passport applications on behalf of the U.S. Department of State. U.S. citizens planning international travel may schedule an appointment for the library passport and photo services. Appointments are 1 hour and can accommodate up to 2 applications. Consecutive 1 hour appointments may be booked for additional applications. So I just want to get that out for our public, that this is another item of service from our great North Canton Public Library. So thank you for indulging me.
That's right. Final call for new business. Seeing none, moving on. January 15th will be Martin Luther King Day. We will not have a meeting that night. January 22nd, we're going to have a public hearing and the committee of the whole. And then January 29th, we'll have a regular. We'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
So
moved.
Also moved.
All in favor?
Aye. Yes, sir.
I think, I noticed, there's Christmas special.